What is up, boys, and the 4.9% of women that watch my videos?
Let's up those numbers!
Anyways, your ideas are terrible. Awful, in fact. The worst I've ever seen in a YouTube comment section. Truly, every single one of you should be ashamed of yourselves. No, I'm joking. There are some solid ideas in here, and I will do a couple of these in later videos. But there is a concept that I've been meaning to talk about on this channel for a bit that is very important, and yeah. So I kind of have a reputation at this point in my videos for taking concepts from other games and implementing them into Valorant. Notably, a while back, I talked about uptime and impact that comes from the Overwatch community. It's a concept brought by Awkward. A couple days ago, I uploaded a video about the art of stealth in Valorant, which is a very good video that y'all should watch. I'm very proud of how it came out. The art of stealth in Valorant, that's talking about secondary threat theory. That comes from the Team Fortress 2 community. But now, it's time to talk about another one of these theories that actually comes from the fighting game community. Believe it or not. Like, of all the things that could be brought over to Valorant, the last thing would be from like a Mortal Kombat match. So let me go over what I mean here. The most fundamental fighting game in the universe is rock, paper, scissors. I'm not joking. If I go rock every time, what do you think's gonna happen? I'm just gonna go rock every time. You'll see that the AI is choosing paper every time and beating my rock. Pretty self-explanatory. This works the same thing with people. If you were to play rock, paper, scissors with someone right now and go rock every single time, you're gonna lose. This is what is known as layer 1 strategy. It's where you have a plan going into a match, and the enemies are forced to counter it in some way. That is layer 1 strategy of a concept called layered thinking. Now, what happens if at some point I just do a little funny and I throw in a scissors? I win. Because I've conditioned my opponent to always go paper. In response to me going rock, when I throw out scissors, look, I win. This is layer 2 strategy. The issue with Valorant players is people stop at layer 1. Let's look at this in a Valorant context now. Let's say, in this hypothetical example, you are the Chamber player and the Astra is the Astra player. These two players are the only real players that matter. We don't really worry about anyone else on the team for this. Chamber wants to flank and get a back turn to him. Obviously, as you should. Flanking with Sentinels is just generally a good idea. So, Chamber goes out. He hits a nasty flank timing on the Astra, and he kills her. Simple as that. Chamber, seeing that this strategy works, wants to do it again. So he's going to go for it again, but this time the Astra's a little bit smart. In the Astra's mind, she thinks, I got flanked last round and I died. That didn't really tickle my fancy that much. So I'm going to sit in this corner, wait for him to walk by, and I'm going to kill him. This is where a lot of players stop, right here. This is layer 1. This is an action, flanking, and a reaction, which is countering that flank. This is me throwing rock every round, and then the AI throwing paper. Simple as that. Now, obviously, in the context of rock, paper, scissors, if you lose 16 times in a row, you're going to want to start changing your strategy. For some reason, Valorant players don't do this. They give up. They're like, oh, dang, guess I can't flank no more. Unfortunate. When there's so many other options where you can still get what you want, which is a nice flank timing. Yeah, no, I don't really know where I was going with that. There's so many other options to get what you want, which is a nice flank timing. One of them is flank from a different route. You walk up through their spawn maybe, and you try and catch her like this, right? Or maybe you sit here for a little bit and you wait. The Astra's like, It's been about 35 seconds. I don't think he's going to flank this round. You delay your flank and then you kill her regardless. There are options here. There are options. This is what is known as layer 2 strategy. Now, I'm going to be honest. This is about as much strategy as you need to pretty much carry your ranked lobbies. Because if you're thinking about this, the chances that your Astra's also thinking about this in terms of layered strategy is completely just, null and void. Astra's probably just going to accept, okay, I'm going to get flanked every round. Simple as that. If you vary your timing, vary your positioning, you can make plays that otherwise wouldn't work. And this is the crux of layered thinking right here. Let's look at it from another example. Let's look at it from another example. This scenario showed up in a recent VOD review that I did for one of my students. So I think it goes well here. There is an Omen play on Bind in which, I should probably have Ally Omen. There is an Omen play on Bind in which you put a smoke on top of truck right here. You teleport into the smoke and you teleport back site in the hopes that anyone sitting in, this sort of area of the map right here has a back turn to you because they're facing your teammates and they die. Very simple. Very, very simple. This is a very simple play, but this is one of those plays that kind of only work once per match before they start to realize, okay, the Omen's a little bit silly, Flex and wannabe, and they start to counter it in some way by looking out for it, right? This is another way that you can use layered thinking. Remember, if you condition your opponent to do anything, you can exploit it. If you condition your opponent to do anything, you can exploit it, as long as you know what you're conditioning them to do. So my student actually went and did this a couple rounds in a row. He teleported here, he got a few. And there was one point where the second that this smoke went up, he got spammed. I'm pretty sure this is how it went down, but for the sake of example, I'm just going to leave it as the enemy clove back site decided, you know what, I'm not even going to give you the chance to teleport behind me. I'm just going to spray the smoke the second it goes up. This is where a lot of players would stop right here. They would say, dang it, diddly darn, they countered my strategy. Whatever shall I do now? This is truly a travesty. My disappointment is immeasurable and my day frankly is ruined. That's where a lot of players would stop. But you're not a lot of players. You are Berate Valorant coaching viewers. You know layered strategy. You know how to do layered thinking. So an option that you have here is you wait to drop the smoke a little bit. This clove is backside waiting. Ooh, the second that smoke goes up, I'm gonna blast him. What you do is you walk up here, right? You throw the smoke and the clove starts spraying into the smoke. And you swing out and you kill her. Because she's aiming right here and you're going to be over here. Layered thinking, layered strategy. This is just layer 2. VCT games go up to like layer 15 or something like that. It's nuts. I've seen VCT games with like a layer 15 strategy because the layer 1, 2, and 3 strategy happened before the game even starts because they go and they study each other's VODs being like, oh, what strategies do they pull on this map? So VCT games are already starting on like layer 3 and sometimes it'll regress back to layer 1. Sometimes it'll go all the way up to like layer 15. It's nuts. It's crazy. You don't have to worry about that. In ranked matches, up to layer 2, maybe layer 3 if you're up against like high elo or smart opponents is really all you need. This is a very simple concept, but it's difficult in execution. And, credit to the FGC, the fighting game community, for bringing this sort of concept to my attention. And I really think that this will help a lot of you in your Valorant games. So without any further ado, this has been Berate, and remember to brush your teeth today, because I know for a fact I haven't. Bye-bye.